You probably have an app idea and are wondering whether to use Lovable or Bubble, basically the by coding versus the no coding approach to building apps. So this video is for you. Keep watching until the end because I have a point I haven't seen discussed in any other video. Starting with what they are. In first place, Lovable is a by coding application, which means you just have to prompt your ideas or your instructions and Lovable will generate all the code for your application. While with Bubble, you have a more drag and drop experience in where you drag and drop elements inside the editor of your application to create your app. One take here is that both approaches are getting closer and closer in where Bubble is starting to implement the by coding experience of tools like Lovable, where you can also prompt your idea or your instructions and Bubble will generate the app in the drag and drop editor. While with tools like Lovable, I think the future is to also implement that visual building experience in where while you have also the code in the background, you can also edit your application in a more visual experience. So to have a better idea on how each of these tools work, let's go into their platforms. So here we are inside Lovable and I have prepared a prompt to generate a landing page about an Airbnb-like application. So let's go ahead and generate the app. Okay, so here the app is being generated and let Lovable do its magic. Let's preview the application. As you can see, it generated a responsive landing page with all the elements I requested and I think it's a great result. And now let's try with Bubble.io. I'm going to click here to create an app with AI. So far, it just led us to create web app applications with the AI prompting tool. So I'm going to click here. You can start for free with basic features. And here we have the input to put your prompt. I have one already prepared. In this case, I am not just requesting a landing page, but I am requesting the entire application. Basically, it is an Airbnb-like application, but for landlords, where they will be able to manage better their properties. This is useful also for real estate rental companies. So let's click here and see what happens. Okay, now it is giving me like a summary of features that the application will have. And if I need to refine it a little bit, I can continue to improve my prompt until I get what I want. In this case, I will just click generate. And as you can see, this is the final result. Bubble generated the entire application, generated some pages for the different sections of the app, their respective workflows, and the database with the required fields for the application. Regarding to the ownership of your app and the exit from the platform, basically we have one big difference. Lovable integrates with GitHub, so you can keep a standard repo, review PRs, and self-host on Netlify or Vercel. It's portable code, while with Bubble, it does not export runnable source. You own your data, but the code and the main source remains in Bubble and it's impossible to export it. Regarding to versioning and teamwork, you use normal branching and code reviews, while with Bubble you use live versus dev environments, and on higher plans you have different branches. So here I have a screenshot of the development environment, and as you can see, you can have many branches, one inside another, so you can easily divide the development effort between your team. When it comes to data and the security model of the platform, Lovable integrates seamlessly with Supabase. That's powerful, but you must write errorless policies correctly. When it comes to Bubble, you have privacy rules where you can set based on different conditions who has access to what. So here I have a screenshot of the privacy section of Bubble, and as you can see, you grant access depending on different conditions. So it is easier to set up the privacy policy. Another difference is how you host your application. As you can see in Lovable, you can publish to a shareable link in about a minute, or you can export to GitHub and deploy in Netlify or Vercel. While the hosting and deploys in Bubble are fully managed by Bubble, which means you build in development version and click deploy to push to live. Other important factor when you are deciding what platform to use is the pricing system. Basically in Lovable, it charges you for the amount of messages you can send. Basically every credit is a message and it provides you 5 credits daily, and depending on the plan, 100 credits monthly and so on. while with Bubble, it charges you depending on the workload usage. Basically, it's how much you are using the servers of Bubble to run your application. I leave you a link in the description and here in the screen where you can access to the Bubble documentation and see how the workload units in Bubble are calculated. Now I'm going to dive into that special section that I promised you at the start that you won't find in other videos. But before we get into that, if you're liking this video, remember to subscribe, hit that like button, and if you need help building your Bubble application, you can contact me in the link I leave you in the description and in the first comment. That secret section is the maintenance reality. What I have noticed and what I haven't seen highlighted much is that Lovable might make you whip up changes quickly, but the unpredictability trade-off. Essentially, while Lovable promises you a no-code experience, you might still need real coding expertise to keep everything running smooth. On the other hand, Bubble provides you with a much more predictable environment. You know exactly where your logic is, and when you need to make changes or updates, the effort is more stable and proportional to what you put in at the start. In other words, your maintenance costs won't spike unexpectedly. So who should choose what? Choose Lovable if ownership matters for you, if you want GitHub workflows and you have access to developers who can review the application, or you are a developer yourself. But choose Bubble if you value predictability, iteration, non-dev maintainers, and a fully managed stack with versioning and privacy on the editor.